Hello, Mount Horeb High School students and families. This is Mr. Lundquist, and I am going to be chatting a little bit today about the Mount Horeb High School career pathways, kind of what they are, what their impact is, how we can be using them, and then how we plan to even use them more in the future. This is something that I want you to better understand so you can help pick courses and pick the best path for you with your courses here to help support what you want to do after high school. So what are career pathways? It's a set of careers and jobs in a common career cluster, right? And this is also a way for us to connect our courses to the areas of interest you have in post-secondary. When your goals might be to go to the military, one of them might be to go to tech school, directly to work, to college, right? A variety of different goals. There are 16 career clusters identified in industry. So they took all the industries and kind of made 16 clusters, and this is something that's looked at nationally. Now, in the state of Wisconsin, Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, DPI, has worked with businesses across the state and created these regions. The region that we live in is MadRep, right? That's the Madison area. It's a big regional area. It's not just Dane County. It's a big, massive area. And what they've done is they have surveyed businesses, interviewed businesses, looked at the economic development data. The data comes out where jobs are needed, what are the hot jobs, where kind of all the job activities in the private market, and then came up with the pathways, the clusters that are most connected to the area, or most needed, or most popular, what people are doing. And in Wisconsin, in our area currently, there are 6 pathways that are common and in need in the Dane County kind of central Wisconsin region. I'm going to talk a little bit about those in a little bit. But what I do want to do is show you this link here. And this is part of this is just to help you better understand. So if you want to dive in, you can see the different career clusters here and what they all are, right? Agricultural, food sciences. When you click this page, you're going to get into all kinds of really cool stuff. Some of the past pathways, plan of studies, statement. I mean, there is so much information on this site to dive in. I highly, highly, highly recommend doing it, and you have access to this slideshow. So please take a look at it here. As we go back to this slideshow, what I want to be able to do is talk a little bit about the career pathways in our area. So agriculture, food, natural resources, advanced manufacturing, architecture and construction, digital technology, education training, healthcare and patient care. Now, I added a second one down here, business administration and finance. We also believe locally Mount Horeb and at MHHS this is an area of interest, and we want to look to adopt this, even though regionally it hasn't been identified yet. We just have a lot of people. If you look at how strong our DECA programming is, if you look at a lot of the work our students do, it's around business. And it's around how in finance and business administration and banking. And so what we felt was like, we also need to give some students some information there. So I'm going to go through each one of these now. I'm going to spend a few minutes on each one and kind of what it connects to here. And then also you'll have access to this stuff so you can kind of take a look at some of these sites. So as we look at agricultural, food, natural resources. Okay, so you go here and you're thinking like, whoa, this is a lot of information. So what they've done is they've taken, if you look on your left-hand side, it tells you what level of education you can have. And then within this, you'll see in the top agribusiness. These are different kind of areas and different structures within ag, food, natural resources. This isn't all of them, right? We are missing some in here. We are even missing a column of natural resources. But this was identified by DPI in the state of Wisconsin for this area. So if you're taking a look through here and you are going, you know what? I want to be a diesel mechanic. What it's going to do is you click a link and it's actually going to take you to this site, which is going to give you, if I want to be a bus truck mechanic, diesel engineer specialist, talk about the knowledge I'll need, the skills, my abilities, maybe even some of my personality, the technology, right? Autodesk, AutoCAD, SolidWorks systems, even some things, Cummins Insight, engine diagnostic software. It also talks about in the area, you know, education needed. You can find training, you can find certifications, licensures, apprenticeships.gov. It talks about the job outlook. You know, job opportunities are less likely in the future. This is in this area, right? This can change, but it'll talk about local salary info. This will give you a really good sense. So every one of the jobs that is on this site is a link to a similar site that will talk about the degree. So if you want to be a bachelor degree, a bachelor's, and you want to get into animal systems, genetics, veterinarian, gives you kind of a salary range-ish. You click on that, it'll take you to a similar page, right? So these are the agribusiness, so we feel in Mount Horeb, we obviously know this is a strong area for us. If this is an area of interest for you, it's really important, right? Look at these jobs, there's also a lot more. Dive in, take a look, right? Now in the next one, advanced manufacturing, similar type thing, right? You're gonna look at this, production engineering, industry 4.0, electromechanical supply chain. If I want to be a buyer, I'm going to go, oh, associate degree. Oh, I need an associate to be a buyer. Interesting. What does it look like to be a buyer? Wholesale and retail buyers, skills, knowledge, right? Like here's the job. Average job, 67,000, top 116, below average outlook. It will give you all this information. Really important stuff here, right? Let's look at CNC machinist, right? This is, you just need to register an apprenticeship with. Being a machinist, your abilities, job outlook, average, right? Here you go. Oh, here you go. I got to share that tab. So as you go through here, you can see all this information. But I think what's really important is advanced manufacturing career pathways. This gives you all these different careers, right? In high school diploma, you can be an assembler, a die setter, production worker, these different pieces depending on the area you want to go into. If you want to get into engineering design and you want to get into material process engineering, you got to have a bachelor's degree or beyond, right? You got to have some extra stuff. A data warehouse analyst, you got to have some stuff. But here it gives you an idea of, if I get this far, what do I need? So advanced manufacturing career pathway. And think of all the courses we have here at Mount Horeb that connect to this. And we'll talk a little about that in a little bit. Next one, digital technology. Digital technology can be a lot of different pieces, but start thinking software, data engineering, cybersecurity, tech director. I will tell you, I've just read multiple things recently about cybersecurity and the need for cybersecurity. Think of AI, right? Think of all that stuff. The need in this area is going to be tremendous in the coming years. I feel like this is exponential growth. We have a lot of people want to be video game designers. You guys play a lot of video games, right? You'll see over here, does it look like, video game designer? We all want to play video games, right? We all want to design video games. Well, right. New job opportunities are very likely in the future. This might be an area that we can all hop into. I mean, I think that's a great area. If you think of cybersecurity engineer, if I take cybersecurity engineer, security management specialist, right? Right, very right. I mean, this is so new that this stuff's still coming soon. This security management specialists. This is such an important thing. But look, Microsoft PowerPoint, we have that course here, right? ServiceNow, Amazon Web Services, AWS software. We have, in so many of these career areas, we have the kind of foundational courses to get some of the certifications you would need. So digital technology, huge area that's going to be in need. Next up, architecture and construction. So entrepreneurship is also a viable alternative at all levels. So getting in entrepreneurship, you can be an entrepreneur at all these different levels, right? You don't need to have a technical diploma or associate's degree to be an entrepreneur. You can kind of really do all these things, especially in general construction or pre-design construction. But again, back to this thing again, you want a bachelor's degree, but you want to work in landscape architecture. Super interesting stuff there, right? Job outlook below average. You may not find a lot of landscape architectures. That might be due with the economy. These things change. But when we think about, looks like I lost you here. Think of all the different jobs in this area of architecture, construction, and career pathway. There's so many different jobs. And High school diploma, you can come out of high school, you can be a floor finisher, construction laborer, painter, roofer, pre-apprentice, supply sales, woodworking, machine operator. And then you get down deeper and you see some more of like manager, a lot of management stuff, managers, superintendent. You're gonna need a bachelor's degree to understand systems and people that way. So there's the architecture, construction, education and training. You can either be early childhood, that's like daycare centers, a huge need, in-home daycare or at centers, such a huge need for this work. It is critical that we have more daycares. K-12 education. It's not just being a teacher, right? It's not just being a principal. There's librarians, library media specialists, school nurses, food service, bus drivers. We need some bus drivers. Feel free to reach out to Brian Toth in our school district. We always need bus drivers. There's so many different things in K-12 education. We have a variety of different jobs. Higher education is college, tech schools, and doing research. That's a lab, managing a lab, being a lab assistant, being a tutor, higher education administrator, like a dean of students at a college level, and then adult and community education. I know a lot of people that work in education, but at like a hospital where they're training doctors and nurses, or they're doing training seminars on a variety of different things. And people, hospitals and businesses pay people to educate their staff on their different systems and protocols and policies and processes. And so again, here's education, training, career pathway. Click on any of these links, you'll find really good information. If you want to be if you really like school IT and be an IT specialist in education, right? Start making average pays around 58,000. Sunny job outlook. We're always looking for computer support specialists. Think of all the things that happen with our Chromebooks. So again, a lot of in education, training, career pathways here. And then healthcare, patient care. This is working at hospitals, nursing homes, being a nurse, midwife, social worker, counselor. Think of behavioral health. People always think of healthcare, patient care as working in a hospital, like I just talked about, a nursing home, but then there's the behavioral health. Think of all the things that we need, right? It's my belief that everybody should have a therapist. We should all be treating our minds and as well as we do our bodies, and think about that. But all these different jobs in healthcare, again, seen in the Dane County Mad Rep area, this region, central Wisconsin, southern central Wisconsin, as a need, and there's a ton of different work here. So again, when you get to this, click these, explore them, okay? And last but not least, again, this is not one that is the Mad Rep area. I pulled the Milwaukee 7 region because, again, I think if you look at the jobs here, I think of talking to a lot of students and seeing the blowing up in our school system with kids taking business courses and taking marketing and taking econ, taking all these different pieces. Like, this is really important. And I think we have a lot of students who'd be interested in this area. So it's an area that we are going to be kind of exploring, that we adopt, right? That we take on as a school. So business administration, right? You can be a tax preparer and have a high school certification. Who would have thought, right? But if you want to be an accountant, do it, more higher level stuff, you're gonna need a bachelor's degree, probably even maybe a master's. This took me the bus driving one, didn't it? Well, it took me to the wrong link, but just so you know, there's a variety of different things, and so please make sure that you are taking a look at this. So business administration. So let's go back to the list again and just review those, right? Agricultural, food, natural resources, right? Food could be working in a restaurant. That could be nutrition work. Advanced manufacturing, architecture, construction, digital technology, education and training, healthcare, patient care, and business administration. When you look at these areas, what we are going to be doing as a school over the next few months, few years, is taking the courses we have and connecting them with these areas, right? If you want to get into healthcare, patient care, boy, taking anatomy would be a really great idea. Biotech, great idea. Biology too, right? There are certain courses that are going to lend themselves to these areas better, right? Architecture, agricultural, food, natural resources. you've got horticulture, we've got foods, we've got a variety of these courses, natural resources, vet science. How can you take the courses you're taking, be really, really intentional with the type of job and the type of area that you want to get into? Okay. And we're going to start to help map this out for students and to better understand what your needs are and what your passions are. After this video and at the end of this, we're going to be asking you to fill out a survey for us. To kind of, after you take a look at these and explore them and dive in, we're going to want you to take a quick video for us, or take a quick survey, I'm sorry, and identify which areas you're thinking about or that you're interested in. Explore each page, click on the jobs, look at more of it, right? Talk to your parents, talk to your teachers, talk to your friends, and look at what your educational goals are. And then in the end, we're going to ask you to take a survey to understand your insights about what your interests are. One, that will help us to prioritize what are the pathways we need to jump on right away to really make connections for immediately so we can educate and support you better. You've also probably heard through the school board meetings in town, talking to teachers, is the school board recently approved of us to take the next steps for International Baccalaureate Career Program. What that means is, and you probably don't know much, but you'll be learning more about it in the coming months, is the career program, International Baccalaureate, is a framework, take a few different courses similar to AP, and the career program, then you pick a pathway that you then you need to get some work experience in, you do a project in, you do some papers in. It really is trying to get you a deeper dive and better understand the career path that you want to get into, while also taking high rigor, challenging, interesting, globally minded courses to be even more prepared for tech school, college, your job, whatever it is. So you're gonna be hearing a lot more about International Baccalaureate. And what this will do is, after you take this survey, this will help us pick which pathways, again, we need to focus on as a school to support students who want to participate and be part of this really fascinating and amazing program through the International Baccalaureate, to come out with not only a high school diploma, but also to come out with the IB, IB stands for International Baccalaureate, IB Career Program Diploma. You come out with those pieces, and your resume, your application, your transcript will look really, really strong next to other students and need to be competitive. So there's a few things I need you to dive in, check out these career clusters, check out the different areas. And then we're going to be giving you a survey that we need you to take serious and so we have a better understanding as a system where the students of Mount Horeb High School want to go, what they want to do, to help us guide, because your voice and what you want to do should be helping dictate and deciding what we do as a high school moving forward. So we're meeting your needs as students. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. I know it was a little bit long, but as systems, as schools, the state of Wisconsin, we understand the critical importance of starting to have conversations even before high school about the areas of interest our students have, in providing a framework and guidance to students to take the courses, have the experiences needed to be successful after high school. Okay, and so that means taking the right courses. That means exploring youth apprenticeships. That means exploring internships, dabbling in things, getting some jobs, having conversations, going to job fairs. You want to come out of here with a plan, some sort of a plan, and it will probably change. How many of us left college or went to college with a degree? I was a political science degree, with public administration, 2 diplomas. I would argue that I maybe use them on maybe some edges, but I'm in education now, right? And so these things change, but you got to make yourself well-rounded and explore a variety of different pieces. And as a school, we're committing to support you in that work. So thank you for taking the time today. Please dive into those sites, into those areas. Take the survey for us. That will help us tremendously to take the next steps in organizing our own pathways, as well as organizing and supporting our future International Baccalaureate program. Thanks so much, and have a great day.